Okay, so lessons 9 and 10, these are two more mind shifts. Create recurring revenue and take the people on a journey with you. So that's what we're going to talk about here. So, amidst all these other projects, somebody asked me earlier, how long did all of this take? So, we've been doing this about 7 or 8 years. And so that's kind of the time clip that I've compressed a lot of stuff in. And what we're doing in these mind shifts is really just telling you some of the lessons that we've learned so that when we start discussing the media, and we start walking through websites and blogs and books and podcasts and every other thing, really we've got a frame of reference to look back to as we step forward and start applying this to your message. So amidst all of these other projects that I was doing, a business builder in that home-based business network marketing opportunity, he reached out to me. Here's what he had done. He developed an app, smartphone app, like you'd use on an Apple device or a Google Play, Android, to help people use their essential oils. That's what the business model was. And he wanted me to shoot some videos. So he approaches me, says, "Hey, I've got this smartphone app, and right now it just has information, it has pictures, and people can search in it. And if they, have a certain health ailment and they want to see what would support that, they can look it up by that, and it'll tell them what products to use, or vice versa. But what I would like to do, this is him talking, is I would like to include some business building videos inside the app, and I want to know if you could shoot them." And so these videos actually needed to be a little bit different than all the others I had created. So these needed to be shorter. They couldn't be fill in the blanks. Remember, I did that business boot camp. I could go 15 minutes because people are going to sit down. They're wanting to build a business. They're going to sit down and do that. The videos that I shot for the business workshop, that was fill in the blank. So really now I got to come up with a third alternative. Now the thing I want you to see is I've got the content. I've got to shoot the video, but I can basically restate what I'm about to do. Here's what's interesting. This guy, I was wondering how he knew about me, because the first time we're talking, I said, "Well, how do you even know I can shoot this video?" Because he just walked up, and I didn't know he had ever been anywhere before and seen anything. He said, "Hey," he said he had attended my first business workshop, the first one where I had the books with the fill in the blank, where I recorded on audio that eventually became iterated a few more times and then became shot on video. It just shows, like, when you're producing this stuff, do a great job of it, because you never know who might be paying attention, who's watching, and what it might open up for. So I agree. I tell him I will shoot these videos. And so here's what I do. I go in and I start shooting the video, working my way through the compensation plan. Now, I remember doing this on a Sunday afternoon at my house. All the kids are taking naps or reading books or watching movies. I can't do it in the house because of all the volume inside the house. So I go outside on the front porch and I start shooting these 3 to 5 minute talks. Got the compensation plan book, my book in hand, and I'm literally looking at it, flipping, okay, I'm going to cover this. And then I stand in front of the iPhone that's on a tripod and I talk to the iPhone. And that's it. And I'm shooting the video looking at, in fact, here's a picture. This was my front door. This is my house. It was navy blue. I put on this shirt, because it kind of matched. There's the book. I'm just kind of looking at it, talking. Simple technology. So I used an iPhone and I used iMovie to do this. And I rebranded previously used slides. So everything from the business workshop, everything from the boot camp. Now, the business workshop was like purple and black and gray. The boot camp was all kinds of multicolor. This one right here is about to be branded red and blue. And so literally, I am taking the slides, I rebrand them, I change the fonts, I change the color of all the old slides, same slides, nothing else, to red and blue, period. That is it. Rebrand it, change the font. The result is this. I had 17 videos. Because he's going to share 2 to 3 of these short videos per month in his app, that gives me 6 months of content using, again, 2 to 3 per month. So I've just built this long runway, which was a pretty good deal, because the agreement was he had the app. It was him and another partner. And he said, "Here's what we've been doing. I've been taking a third of it. He takes a third of it. We put a third of it back into Facebook ads or into other parts to fund the business, because it's all digital. So it's very cheap. What we do is we'd cut you in. So 25%, 25%, 25%, 25% to keep running the business." And so this worked out really well. I'm going to get paid now And what it came out to be was about $1 per person that downloaded the app. So in any given month, if 1,000 people downloaded the app, I ended up making about $1,000. Was my take after that happened. So now I have 6 months of content at that rate, using, again, 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 videos per month of these 17 videos. Here's what else I did. Each time I took a work trip, I created more content while I was already working. So I'm stacking up things that I'm already doing to create more runway of content. So here's an instance. I took a trip to Ecuador to go visit one of the company's farms. While I'm down there, I shot 4 videos. That gave me 2 more months of content. So you kind of see how that works. I was already on the trip anyway. While I'm there, run the film. This is something you can do while you're already working, doing what you're doing. Run the camera. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be an iPhone. It can be simple tech. You run it. That gave me, in this instance, 2 more months. I took a trip after that to Salt Lake City to interview some executives at the company. I interviewed 5 of them, so 5 long-form interviews. We did them on camera, 30 to 35 minutes each. We edited that to 3 months of videos. So I kind of chopped it out, couldn't use every snip from that. Plus, we sold the longer videos and we used all the audio to start a podcast. So right there, just from that, we start repurposing content into multiple directions. So some of you, that would make a lot of sense too. And you go, okay, that's what I need to do. Here is the only problem that I saw with all of this. And then here is a solution that we'll come to way down when we start talking about different forms of media. So there's a problem and there's a solution. The problem is the app was a one-off. So when people buy that smartphone app, it's $6, $7. That's it. They've got it forever. And they're getting those updates forever. So every time I'm creating a video, it's great. It's giving me 2 to 3 more months of runway, in some instances 6 months of runway, but that person already owns it. And so every single month, we've got to find new customers that are going to buy it, that are going to keep that pipeline full, which again, it wasn't a bad model, but it was some sort of a problem. We're kind of in a time for money exchange right here. So the solution is, let's keep it. Let's keep the app. Let's keep doing what we're doing in the app, but let's use the app as a lead generator and let's build a membership program. So I'm going to keep updating the app, but we're going to create a membership program. And I'll let you know on the membership program, we're going to create different videos every single month. And I'm going to start pulling out little snips from that to be inside the app. That's going to be kind of those one-offs. So I'm going to create more runway by creating something that I'm going to sell in a different direction. Here's what happened. The other partner owned a tech company, actually owned a web company. He kept punting it off. Now, I don't mean this in a negative sense, but for about 2 years, he just kept being really busy with work, really busy with, he had like quads. And so really busy with those kids. It's completely understandable, but it was just like, hey, are we going to do this or not doing this? Like we keep, building out this runway, can't get ahead. So eventually I'm given the green light. One of the guys, there's 3 of us. One of them says, okay, he's not getting it done. How long would it take you to do it? I think with the tech software, when we get to websites, you're going to learn about this. I think with the software I was using, I could do it really quick. I told him, I was like, I think I could set up in about 2 days if I've got all the assets and have everything that I need. And the result was we did create all of that in about 2 days. In a day and a half, we were up, we were live. That same month, we started selling product on a recurring revenue stream. We designed our monthly workflow all around this membership program. Here's what it looked like. I would go live on our Facebook wall the 3rd Tuesday of each month, and I would teach a class live on the Facebook wall. That class was generally 4 videos. They would be 12 to 15 minutes each, all kind of built around the same topic. I did the 4 videos so that it would be easy for people to watch the rewind. Plus, I could take those 4 videos and then put them in the membership site. We promoted that class that was going to happen on the 3rd week of the month, all month. We pulled it off the Facebook wall after 24 hours. So anybody can show up and watch it publicly. And then we posted it after that 24 hours behind a paywall. After doing that, members received the replay. They received the script that I was using. They received all the graphics that we created. They received a growing library of content because every single month we're doing this. Whenever people join, they got access to that plus everything that we already had there. We also did this. We used a free opt-in, so a free We're going to talk about opt-ins more in email sequences and websites. We used a free opt-in where people could promote the new offer. So every week or every month when I'm going live on Facebook to teach this class, that's kind of a public advertising thing. Hey, we teach these classes every single month. In fact, you could get access to this class plus all of them that we already have by joining. Here's how you join. There's a link below. If you want to join, great. If not, enjoy the class. By the way, invite your friends to this because this is free. This is only going to be here for 24 hours. So they would invite their friends. Some of their friends would join even if they didn't join. Now, the other way that we collected people to come and join this was a free opt-in to promote the new offer, and then used a sales sequence from the lead magnet. Okay, so if you don't catch all this right now, it's okay. We're going to talk about it in detail later on. So here it is. There's a freebie that's on the website. So you create the website, you have a free offer. It's a free gift for people. What they do is they take advantage of it. You give them something of value, and then you lead them into a one-time offer. And then after you give them the one-time offer, again, we're grossly oversimplifying, you then onboard the new client if they accept that one-time offer, or you nurture them by offering them more value if they don't. And at some point, you present them with a different offer that's not as good as that offer, but it's still a great offer. Does that make sense? Let me put it all together for you again. So we offer them a freebie on the website. Hey, if you provide us with your email address and your name, we're going to give you something free. They downloaded that free right then. Again, we're going to talk more about this when we discuss websites and email sequences when we go through the media. At that point, right when they're downloading it, on that page, hey, would you like to join this membership program? Here it is. Here's a special price. Normally it's this price, but we're going to give you a better deal if you want to join right now. If not, you still have this value that you can take advantage of. So a lot of those people said, oh yeah, absolutely. And when they do that, we onboard them. Okay, we welcome them into the program through some automated things that we've set up. If they say, no, I don't want that, I just want this free thing that you gave me, we still follow up with an email to explain the value of this, to explain how to use this, to give them some more details about this. Oh, hey, by the way, every month we're doing a live video, so show up for that because that becomes a long commercial that we get to offer to that person. At some point, we present them with another offer, not quite as good as this one because we want them to know, hey, if we ever tell you it's a good deal, we want you to know that's the best deal. Now, that was the process we began running for that membership program. Here's what happened during that. I learned more about leveraging your work through this process probably than any of the other processes that I've told you about so far. For instance, if I wrote solid intros to each video for the live classes, remember there's going to be 4. So for every single one of those, I'm just going to post it on Facebook and go live, Facebook Live on the business wall, on the business page. If I wrote a solid intro, hey, here's video number 1, here's the title of it, here's the main idea that you're going to learn. Listen for these 3 points. Here's what I'm going to cover. If I wrote a great intro for that, I had the outline I could look at and I could speak from. So I could speak spontaneously, extemporaneously with no notes because my notes were right there on the screen that I could look at and see right while I'm looking into the camera. Does that make sense? But it only worked if I took the time and wrote a great intro. Also, if I wrote good copy for the social media posts all month, they're leading up to promote that event. Hey, on the 3rd Tuesday of the month, here's what we're going to do. If I wrote good copy on the social media post, I had great copy already for our site to put on the web page because every course would have its own web page. Had great copy for that. I also had great copy for every single email that would follow up afterwards. So what I'm saying is if you do it well the first time because after that you could continue repurposing it. Here's what else. If I maintained a good filing system, we're going to talk about this when we get to the methods. That's in the final part of the Amplify framework. I could repurpose everything into books. I could put it into podcasts. I could even put it into more different forms of content. Let me tell you about this one. At some point, I remember I was sitting at a coffee shop and we're discussing this whole thing like, hey, we're about to go live tonight. I had the script there, of what I was going to teach. I had the great intros kind of already written that I was going to post as I did video 1, post another one, do video 2, post another one, do video 3. Add all the content right there from all of the blog posts and from all the social media that have been going out, from all the email sequences. And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the script, I'm looking at the notes. It's on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, single spaced. And I looked at it and kind of ran the word count in my head. And I thought, you know what? If I drop this into my book template, we'll talk about templates much later on. If I drop this into my book template, this would come out to be about a 70 to 80 page book. And then if I take all the graphics that I've already used for social media and if I drag those in there, that's going to turn into about a 100-page book by repurposing everything I have. And so here's what I would do. I'd study and prep for the course. I knew that I'm going to put this course online. I'm going to repurpose everything that I have from the live event, from all the promotion. And then I actually started putting that into a book. And then it would start working out to where I could promote that on social media and more. I remember sitting in a coffee shop one day, and one of the guys that a pastor I was helping platform some of his stuff, he asked me, because we'd just written this one book, I'd literally taken all the script and dropped it all in. It took me about an hour to do it, an hour more in addition to all the other time for everything I'd created. And he said, have you heard about this guy in the leadership space? He's writing a book a month all year. And I was like, how in the world is he writing a book a month for a year? And I'd never thought about it. But then in that moment, I was like, wait, hold on. We're doing a class every single month. We're already writing this stuff every single month. A lot of these classes are based on content that I already have. So I'm not researching all this stuff every single month. I bet we could actually do that. So during that year, we actually released 10 books in that first year, again, based on this entire workflow. There was one of these, I told you a moment ago, if I actually did a good job of writing this stuff on the front end, I could repurpose it in any direction I wanted by leveraging the work that was already done. I remember taking my kids to the jump park down the street and looking at all the social media posts that I had for this one. I'll actually show you the book right here. This is the Healthy Hustle book. This was written at the jump park in about 2 hours while kids jumped, and they'd come over and go, hey, can we spend more time jumping? Absolutely, yes, keep jumping. Can we jump some more? Yes. Can we go 30 more minutes? Yes, keep jumping. Because I literally cut and pasted from the notes in my Mac. I cut and pasted and then drug in all the graphics. This book was written in 2 hours. And I think it's about 85 pages. Again, from repurposing things that you already have. That was one of the lessons that I'd learned through this entire thing. So here's, just to be clear, the next two lessons that I've learned about amplifying your message. The first one, lesson number 9, mind shift number 9, is a recurring revenue stream eases pressure and makes things more enjoyable. So put it in perspective. When we had the app, which we never got rid of, it was just the only thing for a while, but then it just became the lead generator. So people who aren't ready to sign up for something that's going to cost them, mucho dollars every single month might give us a one-off. They just click and pay, through the App Store, either on their Android or on their Apple. It was a low price. It was purchased once. It included all future updates and add-ons. So that's all the money that you're ever going to get from that. When we went to the membership program, it was a higher price. It was repurchased every single month. So yes, people could buy it annually and they could pay in advance for a whole year, but in effect, it's repurchased every single month, not just once. It's more expensive than this, but it continues getting paid over and over and over again. So no longer am I having to create a long run of content, which again wasn't a complaint. It was just this was a better deal for us as the messenger. The other thing was, whereas this app included all future updates and add-ons, the membership, it was really each update became a chance to promote the product again. Every time we were shooting a course, remember, it was kind of a big public promotion, a big long commercial where our members who were already paying us are watching it, as well as other people who might not have heard of us before, they're coming on and watching that. So lesson number 9 was the recurring revenue stream actually became very important. Lesson number 10 was this: the best lessons are often the ones you're actively learning. So let people journey with you. Here's what I started learning. After the first 3 or 4 lessons for that membership program, the first 3 or 4 classes, I thought, well, we've covered the basics. At this point, I think since we've got to produce something every single month, I'm going to teach people what I want to teach people. And so if I was exploring the area of emotional health and PTSD, that's what I would write about. If I was journeying through, well, let's talk about weight loss. That's what I would write about. If I was exploring guilt and shame and some of the other things that are just kind of common human conditions, that's what I would write about. So I was writing about things that I might be struggling with, and I would just invite people into that journey with me. And so you don't have to, here's what I'm saying, you don't have to write from the standpoint of just absolute expertise and having figured everything out. You can be very honest about, hey, I'm writing and developing things that are for me, that I want to learn, and I'm happy to take you on that journey with me. especially as you're on a recurring revenue stream that eases the pressure to where you're not having to produce something new or promote something new every single month. Those are the two mind shifts that I learned from this entire project. That's mind shift number 9 and mind shift number 10.